Welcome to the exciting 6th season of Bowling Showcase, the only show to bring you everything bowling in the bowling capital of the world, Metro Detroit. I'm your host, Mark Martin. You know, after a long roller coaster ride of an off-season, tournament bowling is back in Metro Detroit. Now, over the next 24 weeks, Bowling Showcase will bring you all that tournament action right to you in your own home. Everybody at MD Usbc and Bowling Showcase wish good health to you and your family in these troubled times. As we slowly adjust to normalcy, we hope to offer you a little fun, energetic, and entertaining respite from your everyday pressures. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to take my mask off since I'm far enough away from my cameraman. As you know, COVID-19 has changed every aspect of our daily lives, so this year's Bowling Showcase television season is no different. Don't worry, we promise to continually bring you the very best in Metro Detroit bowling. This season, we'll have 6 monthly magazine editions featuring all the current 2021 MD Usbc and Michigan State Usbc bowling tournament action. In the weeks in between those magazine shows, we'll bring you classic Bowling Showcase Challenge shows from our previous 5 years. I'll tell you more about that later on in the show. I think that brings us up to date. So here we are, the first Bowling Showcase show of the new season. Once again, we'd like to thank Thunderbowl in Allen Park for graciously hosting us all season long. General Manager Vicki Ingham, she'll join us later on in the show to learn about this historic bowling center, some of the events, fundraisers, and how bowling centers across Metro Detroit are doing their best to keep you safe as you return to the sport you love. Now on with the show and our first story. Let's take a look at the Men's and Women's Series kickoff event, the Mixed Baker Doubles, held right here at Thunderbowl, now on Bowling Showcase. The kickoff event of the MD Usbc season, the Men's and Women's Series Mixed Baker Doubles, was held Sunday, October 11th at Thunderbowl Lanes in Allen Park. 30 teams participated in this, the first post-COVID-19 event of the season. Getting back to bowling, knocking off the rust of an all-too-long off-season, and staying safe was the intention of every bowler here today. Today was all about teamwork. Each member of a team bowled 4 individual games of qualifying with their total team score determining their seeding for match play. Samantha Johnson and Lane Rhodes, both of Southgate, were the top qualifying team with an 8-game total of 1640. Going into match play, they were the team to beat. Their luck ran out in the first match when they were beaten by the duo of Jessica Mitchell of Heartland and Craig Johnson of Taylor, 396 to 324. Mitchell and Johnson, who qualified 4th with a team score of 1570, then beat Zachary Colissimo of Farmington Hills and Ashley Kolb of Westland, with a 354 to 309 triumph, advancing them to the finals. Jenna Pollock of Fraser and Brian Odom of Westland, they qualified 7th with an 8-game total of 1537. In match play, they beat Kathleen Mays of Westland and Chris Castro of Westland, 448 to 439. Then beat the team of Debbie Morrell of Shelby Township and Frank Robinson of Detroit, 361 to 321 to advance to the finals. The final match was a demonstration of grit, determination, and true bowling skill. Both teams eager to claim the first prize of the season. In the first game of the 2-game match, Mitchell and Johnson took over the match and ended up closing it out with a 23-pin advantage over Pollock and Odom going into Game 2. What looked like an insurmountable deficit going into the final game quickly evaporated, and Pollock and Odom found their game. Going into the 10th frame, the teams were dead even. In the 10th frame, Brian Odom threw 3 strikes to press his opponent's anchor bowler to do the same and move to extra frames. Craig Johnson threw the first 2 strikes, but left a pesky 10-pin standing to give the team of Pollock and Odom a 1-pin victory. And then the final match. You're down by 23 going into the after the first game. Coming to the 10th frame, Brian, what were you thinking?
I mean, I knew it was close. I didn't know it was that close. I didn't know we were even. I just knew I had to throw all 3 just to force them at least double. And then after the double, I came off, and I'm like, I got to fill all 10. We're dead even. And then just, whatever happens, happens. We just got lucky.
So obviously you finished first, and then Craig threw his because he already had the double. He threw a great shot.
Oh, yeah.
And what was running through your mind at that point? I mean, obviously you knew he had to get 10 to tie you.
We weren't 100% sure because we forgot how much we lost by the first game. So when he let it go and wrapped the 10, we were kind of like, did we just lose by 1 or did we win by 1? So we weren't really sure until everybody said it, and we were like, oh, we won.
Oh, we won. Yeah, we were confused. We knew it was really, really close, and we just said, you know what? I told him, I said, all you can eat. I said, get as much as you can. So I did what I could in the 9th, and then all you can eat, and we'll see what happens.
Congratulations to Jenna Pollock and Brian Odom on their impressive victory in our first tournament event of the season. What a great way to get back to bowling. Remember to watch all the action of the continuing men's and women's series all season long. Cheer on your favorite bowler as you watch from the comfort of your own home. Now we have some exciting news to talk about from MD Usbc. The Metro Detroit Usbc has announced the 2019-20 All-City teams. This is a tradition in Detroit for nearly 60 years. Points are earned by top performances in various tournaments. Here are your 2019-20 All-City teams. For the men's team, Chris Nielsen of Livonia garnered 84 points to become captain. In addition to Nielsen, the men's first team is rounded out by Ken Wyatt of Sterling Heights, Franklin Snodgrass of Centerline, Perry Crowell IV of St. Clair Shores, and John Kelly of Sterling Heights. The men's second team includes Dan Pollock of Fraser, Brandon Teddy of Farmington Hills, Frank Hoffman of Livonia, Craig Johnson of Taylor, and Darren Flores of Redford. And Ken Wyatt of Sterling Heights took the senior men's captaincy with 76 points. The senior men's first team includes Mike Karolek of Warren, Steve Marakich of Howell, John Fry of Ortonville, and Larry Wilson of Detroit, in addition to Wyatt. The senior men's second team has Brian Lee of Canton, Sam Gergenti of St. Clair Shores, Joe Krajewski of Clinton Township, Bob Mishaw of Detroit, and Frank Robinson of Detroit. On the women's side, for the second year in a row, Tori Taylor of Redford claimed both the women's and the senior women's captainship with 68 and 93 points respectively. Joining Tori Taylor on the women's first team are Kim Maddie of Utica, Jenna Pollock of Fraser, Sarah Loker of St. Clair Shores, and Terry Catchpole of Macomb. Appearing on the women's second team are Sonia Butler of Detroit, Latasha Cole of Detroit, Lisa Bishop of Redford, Ricky Schneider of Detroit, Dawn Williamson of Dearborn, and Kristen Truskowski of Livonia. The senior women's first team includes the aforementioned Tori Taylor and Terry Catchpole, Debrida Darden of Farmington Hills, Krista Winbigler of Macomb, and Debbie Waxler of Clinton Township. On the senior women's second team are Debbie Morrell of Shelby Township, Dawn Williamson again, Sandy Schultz of Macomb, Ricky Schneider, and Ann Stade of Sterling Heights. Congratulations to everyone on the All-City team for the 2019-20 season. The complete press release on the All-City teams is on mdusbc.com. Now it's time for a commercial break, but stick around. We'll be right back with more Bowling Showcase. Metro Detroit USBC, your source for everything bowling in the bowling capital of the world. We support USBC certified league and tournament competition. We provide 11 tournaments for all members of our association, including men, women, youth, seniors, scratch, and handicap competition. The top reasons for belonging to the Metro Detroit USBC are having your average recognized, bonding of league funds, rules of the game, assistance in resolving league issues, equipment standards of the game, charities, and awards. Visit us at mdusbc.com.
The hug pickup, the home run swing, the drum major high step, the genuine joy, the unforgettable party, the food, the friends, the original social network. No matter who you are, it's always a great time. Grab your family, find a friend, and go bowling.
All right, so I'm here with Vicki Ingham, the General Manager of Thunderbolt. Vicki, thanks for having us this year. We really appreciate the support of Thunderbolt for Bowling Showcase.
We appreciate being asked. It's great.
Okay, so we're in these strange times. You and I are sitting 6 feet apart.
Correct.
You know, normally, I'd almost be hugging you, but we don't do that these days. So tell me the measures that Thunderbolt and other bowling centers have taken to try to keep bowlers safe through this COVID time.
Well, I don't think you can pinpoint any one thing because each bowling center has to do what's good for their clientele and the space that they have that's available for them and what works. But I think everyone's done a really great job, and sharing information has been important to all of us out here. But for Thunderbolt, we installed hand sanitizing stations every 10 feet all the way along the concourse. So any customer can use those at any time, along with our staff. We're handing out a glove with each casual player who comes in who might need to get a bowling ball off the rack, so they're safe if they choose to use it or not. Masks are pretty much mandatory if you're walking around or you're walking to food service or heading up to the bar or just going to the counter to get change. We want the customers to wear masks, and the health department is kind of requiring that right now. But if you're down in the bowling area and it's okay with everybody that you're bowling with, your team, it's okay to remove the mask while you're actually bowling. But we're seeing that some of our leagues are keeping them on full time. Some of our leagues here are taking temperatures of their bowlers as they're coming in and out. And for us, a really great thing during this may have been that we have this room where leagues, if they have less than 20 teams, could opt to move in here where the space is large. And so no normal, just whatever can work is what we're doing.
You got a ton of space here.
Yeah.
But you also put up plexiglass at the counter.
We did.
Okay, you have your postings on the doors.
Well, the doors are really important so people aren't surprised when they get inside. So the mask requirement, definitely trying to remind everybody how long to wash their hands and, to sanitize often. And that's for our employees also. We have a lot of staff and they're important to us and they do a terrific job. But you'd be surprised how many people come in that don't bowl all the time, that maybe don't know what the protocol is. And we're updating that all the time, checking out the Michigan websites and the health department websites. What are the suggestions? What should we be doing? And we're offering that learning experience to our employees, having them read it, sign it. We're taking their temps every day. Somebody's got a cough or cold, we're guiding them. Should you get a test? Shouldn't you? So that's important. Food service, for instance, we've changed that a lot. We're busy in that area, but we just made a commitment that everybody will get their food in a closed to-go container so that they feel comfortable when they get up or move around. So that might change in the future and get back to some normalcy, but right now I think that's important.
So if I'm a bowler at home and I've bowled at Thunderbolt in the past in a league, but I'm a little leery right now.
Yeah.
What would you suggest? Kind of what I thought about is, hey, maybe I'll kind of show up on that league night and kind of, you know, just kind of nose my way
Yeah.
in the door and kind of see what's going on.
Check it out, yeah.
You know, do you think that would be a good idea?
I think that's a great idea. See how each league is handling. Some leagues opted to do a split season, so bowlers could opt to join in January if you're not a bowler that's familiar with that. Season points kind of start over halfway through the year. And obviously most leagues are bowling a little scaled down schedule anyway. I would say probably all around town, 25 to 31 weeks is going to be pretty normal. So, you know, maybe you still feel apprehensive, but you'd really like to get back to it because you miss it. And I think any true bowler is going to miss the people.
Yeah.
Try to find a short season at your family-owned center, especially here. We're going to be doing some short season, 2 or 3 person combos. So maybe you're not ready to be in a little bigger crowd or not comfortable, but that could work for you. Maybe a 10-week, you could join in December or January. And I think we'll see, like now, we're getting the hang of things and getting things sanitized quicker and faster. And we know what the touch points are. And we're a little more educated than we were back at the beginning of this. So,
And those short season leagues, you know, we've got products for those with the association, that $10 short season membership, which would work out perfect for those anything 16 sessions or less.
that's exactly right. And since you brought it up, and you didn't know I was going to mention this today, but you know, I feel really strongly that all of the membership really should try hard to become a member, whether they know for sure they're going to throw any games this year or not. We're the bowling capital of the world for a reason,
Right.
and that is because of our strong membership. And I'm really going to start urging on social media and here today, everyone just call the office,
Yep.
and they can get their membership over the phone. If they're not
Absolutely.
going to see a league secretary, you might jump into a tournament a few months from now and you'll be all set. But I really hate to see people have that block of time in their membership where they weren't a member. And they need to continue to get the updates about bowling,
True.
even for next year, which they won't get if they're not a member.
Right. Well, thank you. You know, you've given us great information on this. We really appreciate that from a Bowling Showcase standpoint. Again, I thank you and I thank Tom for being supporters of Bowling Showcase. And, you know, what more can I say? I mean, you guys have been great. And so we'll be next time. We'll see you next time.
All right, great, thanks.
We know you've been itching to get back into the swing of things, so dust off that bowling ball, clean up those bowling shoes, and get in on the fun by signing up for one of our upcoming tournaments. The MD-USBC Women's and Men's Series kicks off on November 8th at Mayflower Lanes in Redford. This is the first of 5 scratch events designed for bowlers to cut their teeth on keen competition. Robin Orlikowski was last year's Cup champion for the women, and Trey Raines for the men. Here's your chance, ladies and gentlemen, to see how you stack up. This will be followed up with a second event to be held on December 13th at Westland Bowl in Westland. The MD-USBC 500 Club Tournament is Sunday, December 6th at Mayflower Lanes in Redford. Women who have bowled a 500 series in their lifetime are eligible for this day of fun and handicap competition. The cost is only $22. The cash payout, that happens at the end of the day to those who end up in the top places. This is always a great time and will be even better when you join in the fun. The MD-USBC Masters will take place on the weekend of January 16th and 17th at Westland Bowl in Westland. Ryan Van Hecke is the defending champion in this premier event. The cost is $150 with a first prize of $2,500 based on 120 entries. Bring your A game to Westland and compete against the best MD-USBC has to offer. Call the MD-USBC office at 248-443-2695, extension 105 for more information on our tournaments, or visit us at mdusbc.com. Why don't you take a chance and join in on the fun and competition? Who knows, you might become the next MD-USBC champion. Visit mdusbc.com for all our tournament information. Now it's time to tune in to all the competitive, exciting action of the 2020 MD-USBC Queens Championship next on Bowling Showcase. "30 of Michigan's best women bowlers took to the lanes at Thunder Bowl in Allen Park for the MD USBC Queens Tournament held on October 17th. Many familiar faces and some new ones hit the lanes with a single goal in mind: be the best. The women bowled 6 games of qualifying, with the top 8 moving on to match play. Match play was single game, double elimination format. Women's Series standout and familiar face to Bowling Showcase viewers, Brandy Remy of Livonia was the top qualifier with 14.28. In her first match, Remy beat Maddie Klein of Whitmore Lake by rolling a perfect 300 game to Klein's 212. In her next game, Remy faced off against her Women's Series rival, Robin Orlikowski of Grand Rapids. Orlikowski, the 2017 Queens champion, qualified 4th with 13.32 and a high game of 244. Her first match game of the day was a close one, narrowly beating Nicole Harrison of Clinton Township 225 to 220. In her match against Brandy Remy, Robin Orlikowski came on strong and never looked back, winning the game 234 to 204. She then moved on to her next game against Julia Huron of Westland. Huron qualified 2nd with 13.76 on games of 189, 236, 279, 248, 190, and 234. In match play, Huron beat Sherry Verispe of Newport 226 to 201. Then Lauren Crivy of Sterling Heights 233 to 180. She then faced Robin Orlikowski and won the match 248 to 236, knocking Orlikowski into the loser's bracket. Now, once in the loser's bracket, Robin Orlikowski beat Nicole Harrison for a second time, 259 to 234, to advance to the championship match. The final match was now set between undefeated Julia Huron and past champion Robin Orlikowski. Being a double elimination format, Orlikowski would have to defeat Huron twice in order to claim the top prize. The first game was close, with both women continuing their dominance of the lanes. Huron was determined to finish out the day with a victory and the championship, but Orlikowski, she was not going to make it an easy task. Orlikowski beat Huron in the first match 219 to 205, climbing within 1 game of the ultimate victory. Moving to another pair of lanes for the second and deciding game, Huron found her form and played the lanes well. In the end, Julia Huron beat Robin Orlikowski 225 to 192 and claimed the 2020 MD USBC Queens title. Okay, so in that first match against Robin, you beat her 248 to 236. How exciting was that?
It was very exciting. It's always exciting to have a close match because it gives you the opportunity, put yourself in that pressure situation and, just make a good shot off your hand.
Okay, so now we come into the first time. You have no losses. Mm-hmm. She's got the 1 loss. You can captivate. You can capture the title at this point. Mm-hmm. So tell me about that. The ending of that match.
I had a couple ring tens, couple shots I didn't throw my best. I ended up striking out. I moved a board right. Just kind of missed the move there, and I took it into the next game and was able to capitalize off of it. It's actually my first tournament out of college and as an adult winning. So, that's definitely going to be in my memory bank. I just won a Queens event and I came out right out of college, and as an adult. And it's definitely a different playing field coming from youth to adult. It's still a learning curve, and it's definitely nice to win your first tournament out that you bowled in actually as an adult and just won it.
Congratulations to Julia Huron on her MD USBC Queens Championship. Time for another commercial break. We'll be right back here at Thunderbolt Lanes next on Bowling Showcase. The Michigan State USBC provides tournament competition and recognition for men, women, and youth bowlers in Michigan. The championship events for the season include the Open Championship starting in January at Bolero Bowl and M66 Bowl in Battle Creek. The Women's Championship starting in February at Monitor Lanes and Alert Lanes in Bay City. The Youth Championship starting in March at Westland Bowl. Visit MichiganStateUSBC.com. Welcome back. As I mentioned in the beginning of the show, due to COVID-19, Bowling Showcase will not be shooting any new challenge shows this season. But that doesn't mean you can't still enjoy the thrill of head-to-head Team Baker matches. All season long, Bowling Showcase will be airing the best of our previous 5 years of challenges. Now, beginning next Saturday, Bowling Showcase will air all 4 of our Youth Challenge Championship matches, starting with the championship match of our very first season of Youth Challenges. So cheer on Cherry Hill Lanes North and Oak Lanes as they square off under the hot television lights. Followed by the 2017 championship match between Mary Bowl and Oak Lanes, the 2018 match between Mary Bowl and Woodland, and finally the 2019 Youth Championship match between Cherry Hill Lanes North and Century Bowl. It'll be a lot of fun to revisit those matches and enjoy the bowlers who are the future of our sport. So that's the end of this week's show. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. Look for us every Saturday at 10 a.m. on WADL Detroit with Bowling Showcase. If you happen to miss an episode, you can catch it on our Bowling Showcase channel on YouTube.com. You can connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, or email us at bowlingshowcase@gmail.com. We're interested in your feedback. Stay safe, keep bowling, and we'll see you next time on Bowling Showcase.